Hey YouTube, here's Heiko. In my garage, I'm working on installing an LED light bulb, a LED H4 light bulb into the headlight of my 1974 R90/6. First I bought this, Amazon, I followed the good recommendations, put it in the in my headlight, and I wasn't really impressed. It was promising all the brightness and all that and blah 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 in pictures that compare a normal H4 light bulb with this LED light bulb. Here, let me show you just for comparison. So this here is a normal H4 made by Osram in Germany, of course. It's 55 watts on low beam and 60 watts on high beam. There are two filaments in there, and only one is on at the same time. So they're not burning at the same time, or else they would get too hot and, so 55 watts is the low beam wattage. This one here is supposedly 15, but it has a higher light output than that normal stock. Put it in, wasn't happy. The light is wider, it's not as yellow as this one, so the color is different, of course. The beam pattern is not, I wasn't impressed, and also just the brightness of it. I did a couple rides right around sunset and shortly after that, and then I was happy when I got home and could put the normal incandescent light bulb back in there. But then I did a little bit more research on this topic and learned something. H4 light bulbs, or I don't know if that's maybe standard for all headlights of vehicles, they have a metal piece in there that goes over the light bulb just like a cup, because there's some weird DOT regulation that says that from the front, so the oncoming traffic cannot see the light source or the light bulb, so that the tip of the light bulb, which is already coated here in this case, and this one is completely metal here up top, even though this is already coated, they still put a huge metal cup over the top of this, so the light output is really done by the reflector. And so I figured, why not give it a shot trying to remove this cup in there, which is actually removable. So I'm wondering, maybe this is not required in other countries. Of course, this is a SAE M83 DOT approved headlight, H4, made by Bosch, made in Germany. But what if we remove this lower cup, since you can't see the light source on this light bulb anyways, because it's a full metal housing. So let's try that. Then I will test my headlight in the dark again and see if it's any improvement over before. So this is the fully assembled unit. It's three pieces. There is the reflector, the front glass, and then a chrome ring, and they get pretty much put together and held in place by little metal clips that are fairly easy to remove. You just push in and unhook. That's what they look like. There are 4 on each side. I've seen instructions before on how to put them in and where to put them exactly. Only thing that you have to remember, especially on an airhead, on a BMW R90 or R75 or whatever, you have one space up here where the headlight bucket kind of hooks around this lip. So you have to leave a little bit of some space up here, and then here at the bottom you have this metal clamp that ultimately holds the bottom end of this headlight in the headlight bucket. So you have to leave a little bit space here and a little bit of space here. All right, let's take those clipsies out. There should be 8 total. There you go. It's already coming apart. There, and another one. On those H4 halogen light bulbs, you're not supposed to touch the glass ever, or else the grease, a little bit of oiliness on your fingers will cause the glass to crack and break. And then you have to replace it. With a LED light bulb, I don't think it's that critical. Completely different technology. So then, after taking those completely removing all those 8 clips, you just take the reflector and the glass out of this chrome ring, put this aside, and then between the glass and the reflector there is a rubber seal, and if this has been together for decades, it's probably going to be a pain to take apart. This one here is relatively new, so this should come apart just like that, 2 pieces. When you have this apart, make sure you clean this with some ammonia-free automotive window cleaner from the inside. Ammonia-free, just so you don't damage the rubber here, because ammonia is a little bit too aggressive for rubber seals and for paint. That's why in automotive window cleaner you don't have ammonia. So then the reflector, mine here has some weird water spots. I have tried to polish that out before. I think it's actually the reflective coating that's put on the outside of this reflector. I'm assuming that this is actually, I don't know, is it from outside or inside? I have no idea. Yeah, anyways, I can't remove those water spots, but it's pretty clean. And now you can see this cup in here. This is the DOT required contraption to make this light source invisible from the front. Silly regulation, and this is really only clipped into position by 2 little arms. You just push it together and it comes right out. It's just those 2 little hooks, and it has a little bit of some tension on it. That's it. Then you put it aside, and then we're already at the point where we can slap this back together. There is actually a top and a bottom and all that. Here's a little cutout. That's the bottom. And on our glass part here, if I could turn it now, that would be great. There is a little notch here, a little nose, and that goes right into this cutout. So this is how that goes back together. Then you take your chrome ring, put that back over. Clumsy. I should have started where the metal clip here is. That's the bottom, so probably slide it in under that, and then suddenly it will actually fit in there. And then you have to take the screw of this metal clip relatively loose, so that when you put it together you can kind of put the chrome ring on here evenly. So, and then where the screw is, there's also again a little cutout that coincides with the notch here at the bottom. So that needs to line up, and then once you have that all lined up, it's not as easy as it looks. Too many moving parts. So once you have that all in there, I try to hold it in place like this, and then you grab the first metal clip, the long end here just hooks under that lip on the chrome ring, and then we already have the first one installed. See that? And then I'm just still holding this together, and I'm going to go 180-degree opposite side and put another one in there. Oops, that didn't sound too good. Oh, here we go. Seems like that has a lot of tension. So now we have one, here's the top, here's the bottom. Now we have one here and one here. So now it's pretty much securely held together. And now I just want to see if the the reflector with the glass is somewhat centered in this chrome ring, and I can still push it around and manipulate a little bit. So kind of like so. And now I'm just going to put it down, and then probably hard to see in the camera, but the second one you kind of have to go under the first one, kind of like so. Hello, fat finger. There we go. So that's number 2. No, correction, number 3. Same here. It hooks right under the first one, and then maybe not trying to use my fat thumb, but my index finger. There we go. So now we already have 4. It's really simple. It's really easy. Once you saw how they come out, or once you see how they come out on your own headlight, it's really easy to go around in a circle and put them back in. So, and there you go. I might move this around a little more. This started out well and this ended well. This one is a little close to that this hook-on point in the top of the headlight bucket, so I might slide this around a little bit. Very easy to do. Kind of like so. Just slide them all down a little further. It is really not that important, as long as you have it all nicely spread out evenly. Yeah, this looks good. And now we're going to take our cheap $20 LED light bulb here. Goes only in one orientation. You can't accidentally put it in the wrong way because of those 3 little pins here. So it only goes in that one orientation. Slap it in there. And that's it. New headlight bulb. Now I'm going to put it on the bike and then see how bright it is. Alright guys, I hope this will help someone to remove this for an LED light bulb. Don't tell the DOT. Thank you. Bye.